In this video we are going to do hard gel nail but use fiberglass instead of forms. I will use pH Bond by Gelish and Pro Bond, which is acid-free primer, base by Cupa to create adhesion with the product, and NSI Bodybuilder Cover Pink Warm Hard Gel and fiberglass. Also, I will use my gel brush and plastic gel clips to pinch the nail. Now let's prep the nail. So we have this nail with some leftovers from the old product. We can also see some lifting. So first, let's push back the cuticle. Sometimes I use pusher, sometimes I use orange wood stick, which is actually a great tool because it's single use. You just use it on one client and then you throw it away or give it to a client, so you don't have to worry about cleaning it. Now I will file the length. We don't need any length here. If you're going to work with fiberglass, you can leave a little bit of it, but here we have a broken nail. That's why I will try to make it as short as possible. And also I'm going to file off the product since we have some lifting there and the color doesn't look good. In this video, I'm going to use cosmetic grade fiberglass. It's different from a regular one I used in my another video. If you haven't watched it, by the way, I will leave the link in the description. So, cosmetic grade fiberglass is much softer and thinner, and if you touch it with your hand, it will not feel like you're touching needles and then you have billions of splinters in your hands. It actually looks and feels a lot like these silk wraps we used years ago to fix broken nails or to work with them on tips, but instead of wraps, they're just one solid thread. This technology is super popular and trending now in Brazil, and according to my previous video, some of you have concerns, why do we actually need this? Well, yes, like I said, this is not a replacement of sculptured nails, but basically we use fiberglass instead of fitting the form or gluing a tip, which might actually benefit you in terms of time and especially for those who are struggling with fitting the forms. So I look at it just another way to create extensions. Okay, the nail is ready and this is how this thread looks like if you apply some gel, and then you cut it into pieces so it will be more suitable to work with on the nails. Now I apply pH Bond and Pro Bond, which is non-acid primer, and a thin layer of the base coat. Cupa is a sock-off base coat. I apply it very thin layer and cure it for 30 seconds. This is how I prep nails for hard gel, for fiberglass, and this is how I am sure that we will have a good adhesion between the product and the natural nail. Now I take NSI Cover Pink Warm Gel and apply it only on the free edge. Now, do not cure. I take this piece of fiberglass and simply apply it to the center. As the gel is not cured yet, it easily sticks to it, and with orange wood stick now we need to create the free edge from one side to the other. Now this is very important. We need to make sure that we create the proper sidewall, so you need to place these fiberglass strands according to the width of the natural nail. So even if the nail is super wide, this is how you should place the strands. So make sure they are not more narrow than the nail. Do not worry, we can pinch it later, it will not look as narrow, and also make sure you don't have too many strands that are on top of each other. All we need here is a very thin layer. Actually, if you even have some gaps between them, this is not a problem. Now let's cure it for 30 seconds, and after curing I'm going to cut it. You can cut it before curing as well, but you need to have a super sharp scissors in this case. Now this is how it looks like, and then I will apply a thin layer on the free edge. So from this point, just imagine that you're working on the tips, but these tips are very soft. And also you can use any builder gel that you like. My only concern is maybe if your gel is super thin consistency, it might be not as comfortable. So as you can see, as I apply the gel, these strands starts to connect with each other. Also make sure that the nail do not look too narrow at this point. And also you may see some threads, some small particles are going outside. That means we didn't have enough product there and they were not fully saturated with this gel, so we will need to remove them. So here I am taking off the excess strands that we don't need anymore, and let's just get rid of them and cure for 30 seconds. I do not cure the full time at the moment because the layer was very thin and I just don't need to do that. But it really depends on the product you're working. If the color is not semi-translucent, if it's super intense, that you might be curing the full time at this point. Now once again I apply a thin layer on the whole nail and I will create the structure. So now we have two ways to complete the nail. We can take gel and create the whole nail with one bead, or we can split it into two parts. As I'm desperate about pinching the nail and I just know that with this particular client, if I will skip pinching, her nails will look super white and we don't want that. That's why I decided to divide it into two parts. So this first layer, the nail is not fully complete, a little bit of apex is still missing, but we are going to cure it. And also I really want to get rid of those things. I'm just using regular scissors because they drive me crazy. Now you can pinch the nail at this point. Simply apply the plastic clip for about 20 seconds and cure it in the lamp. And now I'm going to do the second layer and create the final structure and apex. So I did the same, I simply applied the thin layer on the surface and now I'm taking this gel bead. I'm not going to apply too much near the cuticle because we have enough product there already. I'm mostly going to add in the center and on the free edge because these are the areas where the product is currently missing. And then I simply go back and forth. You see now it looks like I'm going to create French style nail. This is just a matter of habit. So make sure you have enough product on the very free edge, on the side walls. Check the nail from different views, especially from the side view. And now I will cure for about 15 seconds since this gel is LED gel, and then apply this plastic clip and cure for the remaining 1 minute. Now after curing we also need to seal it underneath, and I'm using the same gel. Apply a thin layer, and we could do it earlier, it's really up to you, but do not do it before you apply first gel on the free edge because you can really mess up these strands a little bit. Now you can pinch it once again if you need to, and also I decided to apply a no wipe top coat underneath as I really want to skip this part with taking off the sticky layer underneath. Now we still need to remove the sticky layer from the top, which I'm doing right now, and now it's time to file the nail. So I was trying really hard to apply the product so I will not need to file it on top, but unfortunately we have a small traces of this plastic clip, so I still need to file it on the sides a little bit. We need to file free edge anyway, so I also need to file it right here on the sides, one side and the other. I'm using 180 grit file. This is Endurance by NSI. By the way, my favorite half moon shaped file. They're just so good. I think I use them all the time. And when you're filing now, it is no different than when you file hard gel nail once you sculpt it. And then, since I don't really have to file the surface, only the sidewalls, I will switch to buffer and buff the nail. After that, just get rid of the dust and you can apply color, or I'm going to apply top coat because we decided to leave this nail natural. I'm using no wipe top coat. I noticed that most of the times they shine better, and this is the great time saver. You just apply, cure, and go. You don't need to do this sticky layer removal. Now almost done. This nail was created using cosmetic grade fiberglass, and I will leave the link down below since it is safe to use it on the nails. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to see more tutorials from me, do not forget to subscribe. See you in my next one. Bye!